This podcast is in collaboration with 100% Football, powered by 11 Team Sport.
And I was 15, I wasn't going to parties anymore, I was just training. And they were like, why are you training every day in the rain on your own? I was angry because I was like, I can do better than this. And I always felt that. I'm trying to help the game be exciting again. Whereas with street football, you can wear what you want, play how you want. If you win, it's because you earn it.
Money, power, respect. Balancerend, want dat is een moed. Kijk hoe ik ren op mijn schoenen. Van vechten en boeden naar stappen in.
Hi guys, welcome to StreetKings podcast called Talk Shh. We got a special guest all the way from England. No introduction needed. This guy is well known on social media. He was a guest at the Ronaldinho Globe Street event. And he also participated in the Ronaldinho Globe Street team activation for one of the big brands. Right?
Yeah,
so
wicked.
We got Jack Downer over here.
Pleasure to be here, bro. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, man. I really appreciated you being here. Yeah, I told everybody no introduction needed, but please, for the people that don't know you yet, please give me a little introduction.
Yeah, so I'm a panel player specifically, but trying to upgrade my street game, enjoying all facets of football. I've been playing for the last 8 years from street. That was when I was introduced. First, originally from South East Kent, I was training with Yo Street Zone, and then kind of progressed, trying to move the sport and grow it in London, UK, and I really want to put UK on the map for the tournaments, the 3v3. Obviously, Amsterdam being here, it's always a privilege, but I want to make sure UK has that hub one day as well.
And you're achieving it, man, because you're making a lot of noise.
We're trying.
So before we get into this podcast, I want to do some quick questions. It's just either one. It's either blue or red or black or white, you know? Okay,
so let's go.
1v1 or 3v3?
1v1.
1v1.
Every day.
Cool. Instagram or YouTube?
YouTube.
YouTube. Why is that?
Long form content. I feel like it's more engaging, easier to teach, easier to inspire, and I think the YouTube videos that I watched, you know, when I started, I was watching the StreetKings videos, the old clips. These had a bigger impact on my life than Instagram, which happens every day. So I like putting the effort in to make sure that I can leave something that will help someone else.
Makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Ronaldinho Globe Street Team or Neymar 5?
Ronaldinho Globe Street Team.
Cool. Money or fame?
Money, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Then you can choose what you want.
True.
You know, fame, you're always in the light, but if you've got money, I can go and buy an island and live on it and relax.
And you're not depending on anybody or anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense. Training or chilling?
Training. Always training. And that's how you chill, man. Chill with the ball.
I know you were training, man. Every time I watch your footage, you're training your ass off. EU or Brexit?
Oh, EU. 100% Brexit is stupid, but don't get me started there.
Okay, and then I won't. Last one. 11-a-side or street football?
Street football, every day.
Tell me.
11-a-side, for me, when I played, I felt like I had no identity. I was playing a position and someone say, oh, that right back, he's really good, that defender's good, or, you know, number 2, number 8, whatever. Whereas with street football, you can wear what you want, play how you want. If you win, it's because you earn it. Yeah. Whereas some games I'd play 11-a-side, I didn't play too good and we'd win and I'd be like, oh man, like I didn't feel too good. Yeah. Or we'd lose and I played amazing and I was like, oh. Pana, street football, like you determine it and anyone can play. There's no gender, there's no race, there's no religion, there's no age limit. Everyone can play. You can learn against the best, play against the best, and yeah, express yourself how you want it. There's no manager, there's no referee, and that's freedom, and that's why I love it.
Yeah, man, it's an amazing answer. I love that. Yeah. I'm exactly the same, man. Street, you know, I started off 11-a-side, obviously, like any other kid, but you know, street football is, to me, is just the purest form of football. You know,
hey, the rush is there every time. Even when we were playing the other day, man, it's like it's always a battle, and it's yeah. I think that's a bit, you know, 11-a-side. You can't always do exactly what you want to do. You play for the moment. I play in 90 minutes for 5 minutes on the ball.
Yeah.
Whereas every time I've got the ball, even if I make a wrong decision, well, okay, I'll take it. But in street football, it's like it will be a decision which would have been fun.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I lost it, but it was a good skill to try, you know.
Yeah.
And there's no pressure. So
and I also like that in street, you gotta play every position. You know,
yeah,
you gotta be defender, midfielder, you striker.
You gotta save the goal in 3v3 as well.
Just wanted to say, sometimes you gotta be a goalie too.
No, it's true, and that's. I mean, that's it as well. I mean, you know, best friend Bill, he's a goalkeeper, but now he's a panel player as well. And I think it's good because you can inspire. It's what you said actually as well. I've been thinking about it since. In street, you can reach every different audience. You know, on 11-a-side, if I'm watching 11-a-side and I play striker, I'll watch strikers, Timo Werner and so on. But if you're on the street, it's like, well, who do you connect to? Like, if you want to play street football, it's like, well, Bill inspired different people to me because he was a goalkeeper, and maybe all the kids that are like, oh, goalies can't do skills. They see Bill and they're inspired. But for me, they'll be like, oh, well, you know, I'm not too big or strong, but it's hard to tackle me. And they're like, oh, I want to be like that. So you can have different qualities. Like you, for example, it's, you know, you're strong, you never lose the ball, the clamps, the style there. It's, you can look up to that in a different way. Or if I wanted to be more like Ori, or more like, you've got the characters. And I think that's interesting. Because football is more based on the position, and then you look at the characters. Whereas if you want to be inspired, you can be inspired by any street player in any different way. And I think that's pretty cool.
It's interesting you mentioned inspiration, because I think we all need inspiration, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's true.
So who inspired you when you were a kid?
So I was introduced to Pana by Yofi. So my mum took me to this club in a town hall. She said you have to, because I stopped playing football because I was injured, and then when I was fit, I didn't really want to play again. And she said you have to play, you have to play. I was like, there was a club, it cost £1 at the town hall, and I was like, the town hall? How's there a club there? And she said, yeah, you're going. I said, no, no. A week later, she goes, hey Jack, come walk the dog with me. Okay, yeah, walking the dog. We get to town hall, she gives me £1. There you go. I said, oh, sneaky, tricked me. Okay, fine. So I go in, and there's like, you know, 3 kids, and then there's Yofi there. And he's doing these skills. I was like, what the hell is that? I've never seen anything like it. And that was my first inspiration. I was like, wow. That day I nutmegged some people, and then I got some panas. Trained my butt off for the week, came back, paned everyone apart from Yofi, obviously. He was the coach, and then we carried on training, and that was it. Then I progressed on my own, in the sense of I was just completely addicted. I watched a lot of StreetKings videos, old tournaments. I'd say the main inspirations then were, I wasn't really inspired by like one person. I was more just taking bits of everyone's games. You know, I'd take your clamps, and I'd look at Izzy's akkas, and then the Seon Garnier and his showmanship and how he was doing it on everyone in the public, and I was like, what the hell? Like, he's just doing it just like it's easy, and I was like, wow, I want to get like that. And then I started to realise that when I was playing, you know, starting Pana, for example, in England, it wasn't easy. Like, lots of people would be like, you know, what the hell are you doing? And I was 15, I wasn't going to parties anymore, I was just training. And they were like, why are you training every day in the rain on your own? You know, and they're thinking I was weird. But I was like, no. And then they'd say, go on, then nutmeg me. And because it was the start, it was, maybe I would, but it'd be after like a minute. They'd be like, oh, well, I was tired, so I let you. Oh, okay. And I carried on training. I realized that as soon as I could nutmeg someone within 5 seconds, 10 seconds, that was it. And then the respect came. And since then, it's just been ticking off the whole of London, because no one really believes it. And they're thinking, it's not real, it's not real. So every person's getting nutmegged. And I'd say that's kind of how my inspiration changed. It was first, I was looking at the qualities, and I was like, you know, I need this part of the game, and I'll take certain moves. And I mean, Randall's ankle breaker, you know, and things like this, and now, you know, my style started to come through. But what I was really aiming at is being able to do it. You know, can I apply it on someone, on the public, in a nutmeg way? And now, you know, in a 1v1 way. And now what I'm changing to is, okay, but can I do it on a 5-a side? Could I do it on an 11-a side? How, you know, push the boundaries on that? So yeah, I'm kind of doing the whole 180 and going back to 11-a side, just to test it out. I feel like I've learned, you know, a lot of skills in Pana, and it's now trying to take them and get the bonus ones for the 1v1 situations on the pitch, which would be cool.
Can you explain the audience what is the difference between street football and 11-a side? Because obviously there is a difference.
Well, I mean, obviously the format itself on the street is typically 3v3 up to 5v5, and the style of play is always different. It's faster. I always think it's fast, you know, because it's small. We've got a smaller pitch, high press. You've got to be able to receive the ball. But I think there's kind of 2 ways of playing street football. One's the fun way, where you're just doing skills, expressing yourself, and you know, you can lose the game, but you won it because, you know, you gave a Pana or you gave an akka. It doesn't really matter what the score was, because you know there was that moment. But then there's the flip side of street football, which is the competitive, where it's almost more futsal in the fast touches, you know, up to the tempo of an 11-a side game, if not quicker. And that's the, you know, it's the competition style. And I think that's why I love watching, you know, Ronaldinho street team tournament. We had Latvia, who were purely futsal based, facing StreetKings 2.0, who have the futsal but also got the win by using skill. And I think that playoff is really interesting. Whereas in 11-a side, you'll never have a skillful team versus a pro 11-a side team. It will be a Pro 11 with a skillful player here and there. Whereas you know, in street you've got the characters even on the teams.
Yeah. So you played a lot of professional players in your just short career for now. I know you're still super young, and you know that a lot of 11-a-side players, professional players, do have the skills. Why do you think they're not showing that as much on the pitch as we really like to?
I think you know, obviously the 11-a-side game is super strict. There's a lot of money in it. You know, if you make a mistake, that it costs someone somewhere a lot of money. And I think the risk of that is what would put them off. But I think now I don't know. I think maybe it's because I've been looking for it more, because I've been, you know, taking more inspiration from the 11-a-side. But I think recently it is curving towards the more expressive players. You know, Hakim, Chelsea's team. In fact, you've got a lot of youth English players who are very skillful. From Hudson-Odoi, Tammy Abraham, and they're expressing themselves alongside Hakim, and then Kai Havertz from Germany. I played with him and he's insanely skillful. Yeah. And you know, wrong it is, but I've met a lot of German pro players who don't do skills. Yeah. So I was very impressed with, you know, he could already do akka 3000 and stuff, which was pretty sick. Yeah. So you know, but I'd say the application on the pitch is also. There's a big stigma, especially in England, where they think that it's a skill you don't need, like it's pointless. Yeah. There isn't a benefit. They think it's like a party trick, which, you know, if you know, everyone always says, Jack, if you're on the pitch, like you can't do that on the pitch. Well, yeah, why the hell would I? Why am I going to stand still and do ground moves? But if I was to use it wisely and progress and use it in certain motion, like I only think most of the time you'd use these skills is when you end up stationary on the wing or near the corner, and then you can apply it. Yeah. But I think I think a lot of players don't see that, and therefore they cut out that whole part of their game. But then you see Pogba, and he's making space in every part of the pitch, and he's a real street player. Yeah. Same with De Bruyne, right? Like I think it's you can tell the players who have the skills because they're just confident on the ball. That was the one thing that I learned when I did Pana. It was, you know, I'm so used to everyone being here and being like almost overwhelmed because they're on you. And then I remembered when I played 11-a-side, the scary parts that I always got in 11-a-side was, you know, as a right back, I'd get the ball from the keeper and there'd be someone on me because I hadn't checked, and I was like, oh, and they're there. Whereas when that happened after I played Pana, they're there, and I'm like, oh, cool, hi. Like, I'd rather him be next to me because then I can get away. If anything, the mid ground when I had to run towards them is now more awkward. I'd rather them just be on me so I can turn them. But I think it's changing. I think soon Pana will be recognised in 11-a-side as a tool which is extremely useful, and the whole street game in general.
I agree, man. And you just said something that triggered me. You said, you know, I wasn't used to, you know, getting these guys so close to me, and now I am used to it. You know, it's awareness, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think, apart from the skills and personality, awareness is one of the most important things, because I was in jail in Colombia and I played on the court over there. And it was on a pitch where we normally play 5-a-side, and they play like 7v7. And prison games are a totally different game, bro. You know, knees flying here, elbows here, you know, it's just sliding tackles like right here. So I was struggling with awareness where as a street football player, I'm already used that people are super close to me. But this was a totally different level, and I had to adjust to it in order to, you know, get my game on inside. And it took me a while though. So how important do you think awareness is?
100%. Street football is essential. I think it gets to the stage as well where it's, you know, awareness, we're always thinking, you think of awareness, you think, oh, did you see that pass? Did you see that man? But it's not even about the recognition of it. I think what true awareness is when it's unconscious. You know, it's like when I go to tackle you and you've already moved, because you sensed it, and it's like Messi will beat everyone with a shoulder drop. How do you do that? Well, he knew their balance. He could feel it. It's like a superpower, and that's what I'm trying to unlock in a way. You see Rakaba, his style. You know, he told me once, like don't touch my girlfriend. The ball was his girlfriend, and he was like, check this. And he was just moving it, and I was like, wow, that is super cool. And I've taken big inspiration from him in that style. And that's something I'm trying to work on. And the same way that you shield it and you hide it with your angles and your body position, that for me is the awareness of street football. It's not necessarily, you know, we know that people are close, but it's okay, they're close, but I'm aware of how they're moving. Not only how close they are, but how they're going to lunge in. And at that, and you can feel it, you know, as you're beating someone, the move, as the akka's coming off, you're like, I've got him.
Yeah.
And you know when it's just a bit too, oh, I'm gonna have to aim it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's true awareness of street football. I think that's everything. If you don't have that, how can you panel someone if you can't feel that they're gonna do it?
Yeah.
You can't react because it'll be too slow.
Yeah.
You have to already preempt it. It's like a trap. And yeah, no, I think awareness is 100%. And when you have that awareness, you know, if you're used to the prison and then you go onto 11-a-side, it would be like walking.
Yeah,
You'll just walk for you.
Yeah,
You'll feel like you have all the time in the world. And you know, for me, I'd find that a bit of an issue in the sense, you know, I will actually just walk around.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the best 11-a-side player, but you know, I think someone who's got the skills, a pro, and then you give them the awareness, like the street football awareness,
Yeah.
easy for them.
Yeah, I agree. There's another thing you just mentioned, and that's going to be my next question. You were saying about how can you punish somebody without the awareness. So basically you're telling me that it's not that you copy a trick from the internet and just do it whenever you feel like it.
Yeah.
But it's more like an animal instinct, I guess.
Yeah.
But how do you implement your skills within a game? Because a lot of these young kids are struggling with that.
No, it's true.
You know,
that
they see that move, but they cannot apply it in a game.
That's one thing that I try and stress on in my YouTube. I do a tutorial every Tuesday, and I try and stress that, you know, this is the movement, and the movement can look very basic. You know, it can be a 2-touch, right? And we're just going to set it up, and we're just going to do it. And even if you do the exact same move I used to set it up, it's not about half of it's range, you know, and how they come in. Half of it's were you moving the ball fast and then you went slow. And it's just mind games, and there's lots of different techniques that you have to, you know, it's like setting lots of traps. And I think the best way to explain it, I look at it like snooker, you know, and you got to plan where you're going to hit it.
Yeah.
So the whole game, when I'm playing someone, one, I'm not looking at the ball, I'm looking at their feet. So as soon as they step, you know, the current panel rules in competition is you don't need possession. So the whole time, I'm doing my tricks, I'm moving, I'll move left, I'll move right, I'll move forward, I'll move back. Okay, does he step, does he step, does he step? Then I've got a kind of map. Okay, he kind of steps maybe on a right one if I shift him, if I go around the left and come back. That's my plan. I'm not just trying a trick, I'm seeing how he steps. Okay, I've got the ball here, does he want to tackle? He tackled right foot, okay. He tackled left foot, ooh. You know, it's a bit tricky now. Tackled right, tackled left, okay, but the gap's still the same, so I just need to get it. Why is he tackling me now? So I'm thinking, okay, it's because I've gone slow. I'll go fast, and now I know, as soon as I go slow, he's gonna tackle. So I have to be in a position that when I go slow, the ball's in a position to do the move. Because lots of people, they will then go at the wrong pace, and they will be, it's kind of like you can't be doing ground moves when you want to panel someone. There's no point doing ground moves at the point they tackle, because they'll probably tackle you. You have to be ready to give a panel at any moment. And that's something I've been working on in my game, in the sense of take out the skills which are, you know, I used to go to tournaments. First tournament I ever went to, I made sure every game I did an ankle breaker. Why? I just learned it. I thought it meant to everyone, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll do an ankle breaker. I lost like 3-0, but I did an ankle breaker. Who cares? No one. So it's then I realized, okay, it's not about what you do. It's, you know, you got to get the win. I was thinking, okay, I need to score. And then it gets to a stage where in the scoring, you're feeling the tempo of the game, and it's what we meant, it's the awareness. You just feel that they're coming in. It is like an instinct, but for me, it's more of a probability based. I know some players who are purely instinct. You know, Bangkok, they're lethal on it, and they're boom, boom. I'm less so. Mine's more, sometimes I know I could panel someone at the moment, and I go, nope, because I'd rather score. Because it's 10 seconds left. If he scores, he wins. So I'm like, it might have hit both his legs or something. I'm just gonna score. And you know, I don't know if that's not the way I'd necessarily condone panel, but in a tournament, like I said in my last tournament, if I got to the final, I'd win by panel, because I felt like I felt the responsibility to make sure that I get to the final for everyone. You know, for my fans and stuff. I'll get to the final and then I'll try and put on a shot. However, if you've got a lot of tournaments, I can't tire myself out or risk it doing panels at the start unless I'm 100% certain. And but it comes with time. So anyone out there who's struggling with actually executing the panel, just keep going, just practice it. If you ever make the mistake of you knew they were gonna go, but you messed up the trick, okay, go and practice the trick on your own. But then, if you can do the trick, but you just don't know how it's going wrong, film it, watch it back, see, he was too far away. He came in a bit quick. Then you've just got to get used to it. It will just take time. And you'll feel it. You'll feel it.
That's good advice, man. That's very good advice. and I know a lot of these youngsters need that advice. There's another thing why you stand out for me from a lot of ballers. Is that your how do you say that? Your journey hasn't been smooth. You know, I know from a fact that you've been in situations in street football where you know the coin didn't flip your side. But that is what I respect, man. You outwork everybody. And I also think that is an important message you send to the youngsters. You know, we're living in a time where you know, everybody's on Instagram, social media, whatever, and it looks like everything comes easy. And you know, these kids, if they see something, they get inspired, and it doesn't work out right away how they would like it to work out, they jump to something else. And you're an example of no, don't give up, man. Just keep pushing it, keep doing it, and look at where you are right now, man. You know,
I appreciate it.
I still remember the day that you were like super sad about the Ronaldinho Globe Street team. And, you know, you got some valid points. We discussed it a couple of days ago, and you're totally right, man. But in my opinion, you know, as a street football player, you also have to be able to handle defeat or handle.
No, it's true.
You know,
you either learn or you lose, right?
Yeah. But where does that work ethic come from? Because it comes from somewhere.
Yeah. Firstly, my parents. The biggest blessing I have is my family. My mum is, you know, she's a nurse, caring through and through. Definition of mum. And then my dad was an athlete, but an intellect, and they're both very smart. And I kind of took the inspiration of, you know, I want to be an athlete. You know, there's a difference between street footballer and what I think a street football world champion is. I don't think a street football world champion should be out of shape. I don't think a world champion should be drinking alcohol or you know, lazy, or I think they should, you know, as a world champion, it's like being an Olympian, you know, in my eyes it's like you should be. My dad was a boxing world champion and he trained every day. He went to work, because he was still working at the time, and he would get up at 5 and he would drive for 2 hours, he'd work all day, and then he'd train and he'd get back and he'd run and he'd sleep every day. And I watched it and I was like, that is a world champion. So then when Pana's here and I'm thinking, you know, I'm aiming for world champ, well, I'm not going to win world championship and not be a world champion. I'm going to win it and I'm going to have the qualities that I think. But I've been the same with everything. With school, I made sure, I think I'm, you know, if I'm going to do something, I want to do it right. And I know that I'm not the best. You know, I think it's interesting as well, like, you do street football, but you were amazing at 11-a-side. You know, you had that quality. I was terrible at 11-a-side. You know, like, I was okay. I started when I was 10, I was a defender, I have no left foot, I can't pass, I can't shoot. However, on the pitch, was I effective? Yeah. Was I skilled? Not really. But I was a good player. And I was getting noticed because I didn't give up. I ran the whole 90 minutes. Slide tackles, headers, whatever. I was doing it. So people were like, this guy, and every coach, I'd listen. I'd say, yeah, what do you want me to do? I'll do it. So me, at the same age, me and you would have killed me. But 90 minutes, maybe I'd have tackled you more times than you got past me. And maybe the coach would have gone, actually, he's going to listen. Maybe I'll take him. And that's how it is in England. You're not going to make it if you are amazing, but you don't listen. So that's part of it as well. I think I knew that I wasn't the best, but I wanted to be. So why don't I learn it? That's why I always prefer Ronaldo to Messi as well. Obviously Messi trains his arse off, like, don't get me wrong, but Ronaldo, it seems like he does more. So he's always inspired me in that sense. But I'd say for Pana as well, it's like, you know, immediately I knew I wasn't the best. Why would I be the best? I just started, and I was looking at everyone that's great, and I was thinking, I want to meet them. That was it. You know, I've got your autograph because I wanted to meet you. That was it. I received that from you. It was a great gift, and I was like, I want to meet him. Never did I think, oh, I want to play against him, or did I want to pan him or something like this. It was, you know, it was an alien question. I just want to meet him and learn from him. And I took that, and I had no ego. I didn't think, oh, I need to be better than everyone. No, I just want to be there. That's cool. And then obviously, I trained for like 2 years. Then I got to tournaments, which I drove to with my dad. We had no money. We got there and we were like, oh shit, we're here. We're just happy that we're here. I lost every game. We're still happy. We're like, we're cool. We're still here. But inside, you know, I was angry because I was like, I can do better than this. And I always felt that. I always think, like, if someone else can do it, they weren't born good at Pana or good at street football. You know, that's not a thing. So I can do that. And I think it's just having that confidence to, if someone else can do it, you can do it. And the resilience to, I think when you learn how to be good at one thing, you can apply it to other things. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, world's strongest man. Then he was the best actor in Hollywood, or most paid actor in Hollywood, and now he's a politician. Like you can learn it. You know, he wasn't born a politician, actor, wrestler, whatever the hell he is. And I think that's what I got. But the work ethic, I don't feel like I always hear that, you know, you work a lot and you do, you know, you deserve it. I'm thinking, yeah, but I don't feel like it. I guess what I'm trying to say is the kids that I do the videos for is the same as me. You know, like I was the kid who was messaging, you know, I'd message you on Facebook or something back then, or I'd message, I remember I made Twitter so that I could tweet Sufi and Bangkok.
Really?
I sent him a message saying, yo, I love your stuff. Matthew Gerner and Pelota, I was talking to them on Facebook about like techniques and like, hey, look at my ground moves combo. And now I get that every day. So I reply to every message that I can. And I make the videos because that is me. And the kids, and I find it weird that those kids don't think I'm the same as them. They think like, oh, Jack's really good at banner, whoa. It's really nice, but not like, we're literally in the same position. My friend, I was talking to him, he was talking about his page on Instagram, and he's like, oh, I don't know how to grow my page a bit. And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking the same. And he looked at me, he's like, what the hell? And he's on 600 followers, and I was on 600,000. But in my head, I was like, we were the same. Because the numbers, and it's not real, but what is real is he's a very good footballer, and I'm a good footballer. Our videos deserve to be seen by the same people. So the platform, I don't think you should ever worry about the number of views. This is what I try and stress the most. Lots of people, they're like, oh, I only got 100 views, I'm not going to post it. Huh? Who cares? Post it. If Ronaldo posted when he was 12 a video of him playing football, it would have got 10 views because no one knew him, he's from the streets. But if you found that video now, billions of views. So just put it out there, document it, look back at your progress and be proud of it. And I think that's, you know, for a long time, I never wanted to post my old videos because I had long hair and like, you know, it wasn't cool. But now I look at it, I'm like, I'll take that. Like, you know, I've grown and I'm proud of that. And I think that's the journey that I'm trying to show. And in fact, on Sunday, I'm posting my kind of like how I started video.
Really?
And I go to every place that I trained because I was training in, you know, I always think it's something as well that I battled was street. You know, my name is Street Pana. Am I street? And in a way, yeah, in a way, no. And I was thinking street fashion, I like it. Street style, yeah, I guess. Street football. But am I urban street, you know, like from the hood? No. I'm from a little seaside town in Kent. Like, it's the most like, it's not street. But I was thinking, well, was it nice? No. Did we have money? No. Did we have, you know, did I have one pair of shoes with holes in that I trained in every day? Yeah. Did I put bags in my feet so I didn't get wet feet? Yeah. Did I have one football? Yeah. Is that street? Yeah. So I take to every spot. Where did I train? Well, was there a football pitch? No. Did I walk every day for 1 hour to get to the football pitch? Yeah. Did we have a car? No. Did I do that every day? Yeah. That's street. So it's about showing that, and it's like, you know, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. If you want it, you'll do it. And if you make an excuse, don't do it. Do something else. Because, like, okay, you don't want it. Everyone tells me I want to be a piano player. Cool, let's do it. And I will give everyone the opportunity to train with me for free, man. Just come play. I'm happy people want to do it. You know, you want a video on how to do this? Send me your attempt. I'll send it back and say what's wrong. And this goes to anyone. If you want to do it, let's do it. But if you give an excuse, oh, I can't do it. Don't do it then, man. But if you want it, let's go. And I think that's the street attitude.
Jack, these are amazing answers, man. Yeah. Yesterday I blew your mind, now you're blowing mine. You know, first of all, there's a lot of similarities between you and I because, I used to play on a high level 11 side, but I was a defender midfielder.
Hey.
So I had to fight for every ball and just distribute the ball. You know, I didn't have the skills, nothing whatsoever. That came later when I was like 19 or 20 years old when I got kicked off the club. And you know, everything you just said, we didn't have a car, you know, one pair of shoes, one ball. It's all very similar to my situation.
That's why we both have loads of trainers now, huh?
Right? Yeah. But that's actually when I got sponsored for the first time by that big brand that everybody knows. I still have those shoes, because I was poor as. And I was like, you know, I want to keep on to these shoes because in a couple of years' time I might not be interesting for this brand anymore. And then I got enough shoes to last for another 10 years. I
don't have to buy a pair.
Yeah, that's why. So it's very similar, but I think the youth need to hear this, you know, because I believe that hard work beats talent any day. And you know, talent can be a curse, you know, because the guys that have a lot of talent, they're gonna sit back and chill like, I'm not good enough, you know. Where maybe you and I, we had to work for it and put in the effort, become that good. And the second thing for me was, okay, now I'm on top, but now I want to stay on top.
Yeah.
And that was my challenge, because you know that is maybe even harder to stay on top than to become on top.
Yeah.
So my next question to you is, you know, you achieved already a lot, you know, in a short period of time. But if you know, just think of 3 things you still want to achieve within whatever you're doing right now. What
Only
would that
3.
be? Only 3.
Only 3. It's put UK on the map in a respected way. I think it's about changing the ethos of how you think of football in the UK. We think of football as 11-side grass, yeah, cool. But let's put the street there. You know, oh, you know, do you want to play? And you're like, oh, do you want to play on the street or the field? Yeah. And I think that's, I want Pana to be a school ground game. Every kid knows it, every adult respects it. You know, the coaches that watch the game, they're like, oh, that's a Pana. Oh, he's a technical player. Yeah. You know, and they recognize it. They don't think, oh, what's he doing? They think, oh, wow, he's got this side. So I want to try and shift that. I want to incorporate Pana into the professional game. The aspects of it which are super effective, I want to be recognized. Other than that, I want to create a safe environment. You know, you've got the Kings Dome here, it's amazing. You can use that as you please to train for content, but more importantly, you can use it as a space for the youth or for upcoming players. And I want to create that. I think what I've done is gain a ridiculous amount of confidence in my ability, the same way Arnold Schwarzenegger did. And you can apply it to something else. I could go and apply it to, man, I could become a rapper like all the Dutch footballers. Or I could, you know, go into politics like Marcus Rashford, or I could do other ventures now, because I know how to work hard at something and I can know how to improve. But what that is a skill which I'm super thankful for, and I got that from street football, from the training, and I recognise, oh, this is how you get good at something. This is how, okay, cool. I want to give that to all the kids, because this is essentially empowerment, and I want to empower all the youth. I think there's a lot of people in UK, but worldwide especially, that don't have a voice, they don't have an identity, and they think, you know, they're always looking at the celebs, wow, they got cool clothes, they're a Kardashian. Okay, but actually I want to show that every kid has their own style. You know, you've coached many kids, they'll be, dude, there's like a 9-year-old and he's just funny. The way he walks is cool, and you're like, yeah, Jonathan, you're a legend. And I want to empower him. I want to show Jonathan, like, you know, for example, maybe I design a t-shirt based on Jonathan, because Jonathan wears 2 odd shoes, and it's an odd t-shirt, but it's cool. And I say, Jonathan, this is because of you. Whoa. And he sees it, this is because of me, and he realizes I've got an identity, I've got a voice. Wow, maybe I'm gonna make more t-shirts of my own, or I'm gonna go and, when I play football, I'm gonna make sure I play cool, and I'm gonna play nice skills. Yeah. And then suddenly that's him done. He knows who he is now, he's recognized it, because, you know, if I'm a poet and I wrote my poems down, am I a poet? No, I'm just writing. But if you hear it, suddenly I'm a poet, because we're interacting through art, you know. And I think there's a distinct difference between art and leisure. You know, we've got gyms, and we've got museums, and we've got galleries. There's no one center of culture. I think the football culture is huge. I think we see it in fashion, we see it in music, we see it on the pitch, we see it, you know, we see it everywhere. But you don't have a center which shares that. How do we distribute culture? It's through language, it's through music, it's through the arts. And I want to create a space where the youth come in and they can play football and they can learn. Or they could do music, there's a piano, they could rap, they could work with a fashion designer to make t-shirts, they could paint on the walls, and they can create something which is theirs and it's lasting, and it's part of a community. And everyone from there, wherever they go in life, be it successful or not, they know they had a good time and they learned something about themselves. And, you know, on site there could be a physio for injuries, and there could be a I can't even remember the word now, you know, someone that talks to you about mental health, and raises awareness. And I think it's really just about allowing the kids to flourish, because I think there's so much time on your phones and you're talking to people, kind of. It's not a real conversation. And I want to, you know, if I'm, for example, with lockdown, I'll train, and the first lockdown I overtrained, and I tore my calf, I got tendonitis in both my knees, in my hip, and I was like, shit, you know, I've kind of overdone it. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? I can't travel around too much where I am because of lockdown. Okay, I'll play FIFA and I'll watch films when I'm not training. So I train, I stretch, all this, and then I do other training. I do as much training as I can, and I'm like, okay, well, now 2 hours FIFA or editing or something a bit boring, which I wouldn't normally want to do. But I notice as soon as I play a game of FIFA, I forget about everything else. because I'm on the game and I'm thinking about the game. We played earlier, I wasn't thinking about anything. However, normal day to day, when I'm cooking or when I'm doing this, I'm still thinking, maybe I'm thinking about a panel move. I'm thinking about, oh, imagine if I made this, or my brain is flowing. And I think that when you're having a conversation on your phone only, or on your Xbox or your PlayStation, you're not thinking about other things. And I think I find it tricky mentally to, you know who I am. When I'm playing FIFA, it's not me playing FIFA. It's like I'm in the game. It's like just whereas when I'm playing football, it's all my decision. I think, shall I pass to him? No, shall I pass to him? And I think that's the real life. And I want to make sure that kids can get away from the digital and enjoy the real skills. You know, I don't want a kid to be amazing at FIFA. I want the kid to be amazing, you know, on the pitch. And I think that's something that I want to create a centre where it allows kids to be empowered. It allows the kids who didn't have an opportunity or money or anything like this to come have a great time and realise that they can do it too. So that's the second one. Big football, big recognition of Pana. Then I want a big centre which is empowering all the youth in the community. Obviously one day I'd want that to be worldwide. And that'd be crazy, get different centres, build different facilities, and also these centres provide jobs. You know, for the first centre, my dream is to employ my mum in the cafe, so she doesn't have to be a nurse anymore. Employ my sisters to do something, I don't even know, but something little so they can just chill, you know, and have a nice time and be in a great environment and add to it themselves. And then obviously there'd be other workers, you know. Hopefully I'd be taking people who are struggling with jobs and give them jobs. Finally, obviously then I still have my own goals. My own goals, you know, there's things like, oh, hit 1 million followers on Instagram, hit 1 million on YouTube. Yeah, I would like to do this. I think it is a symbol of hard work when you hit those numbers, even though half the time it's the algorithm which will decide how well you do. But I think if you're persistent, you'll get there. So one day I'll get to them, but for now it's mainly, I want to win the Pana World Champs, like at Invitationals or Pana Knockout. I want to win whatever one is regarded as the biggest. So I want to make sure I've won that. That's on a purely personal note, but I think a more interesting concept, not more interesting, a bigger project for me is to really try and, you know, someone coaches Messi how to dribble. Who the hell is doing that? Someone teaches, like, you know, was teaching Drogba how to shoot. There was a coach for that, and, you know, they weren't necessarily better than the player, but what they had was an insight which helped them. And I want to, you know, maybe one day I'll be a technical coach to teach players how to get out of certain situations. I think that'd be really interesting, you know, and working with the next Messi, and taking the youth players and trying to help the game be exciting again. I think that would be a really big achievement. So to do that, Pana World Champion, I want to tick that off. But then I want to really get good, you know, maybe play top league futsal one day. Never really played it, that'd be amazing. Or to maybe I get a loan spell at a club, see if I can play in a good league. I don't know, one day. And I think there's a lot of, right now I'd never be able to do that, but if I give myself 2 years and I got in good shape, and that'd be an interesting challenge. And yeah, that'd be it. But if anyone has any good challenge suggestions to me, let me know and I'll do it. I'm easy.
I ask you, what do you want to achieve? And 9 out of the 10 things you were saying is not for you. And I love that. Because we're living in a time where everybody uses their platform to gain off it. You know, if it's followers, likes, sponsorships, whatever. You didn't mention one of them, followers, but your followers because you want to reach a bigger audience for your projects. All the other projects is you're not living in this time. I think at your age you're already aware of, you know, we all want to be famous. But famous lasts for so long, because whenever the next generation comes, they forget about you. If you have 100,000 followers or 100 million followers, whenever the next generation hits, we're all gone, you know. So that's and so we know we have a limited time where we can do some stuff, and you're using your power, your strength, your creativity, and your platform to influence and motivate other people and even get them jobs. You know, I really love that. So people, help this guy reach his goals. Send in those challenges. Make sure you follow Street Pana.
I appreciate
you know, let this guy achieve his goals, and so many people are going to benefit out of this. Jack, I really appreciate you coming here.
Anytime.
And I loved all your answers. And we got a special shirt here.
We do.
It's sponsored by 11 Team Sport. This is a special shirt. It's a Manchester United shirt.
EA Sports as well.
Yeah, it's an EA Sports.
This one I actually wanted, so you lot are very lucky because I'm giving it away instead.
Yeah,
well, we are.
You wanted it, but you cannot get it now.
Because I'm not going to win the giveaway. How do we enter the giveaway?
So the
I'm
giveaway,
going to do it.
winning the giveaway is very easy. You tag StreetPanna, you tag Edward van Gils official, you tag StreetKings.eu, and you make a chance of winning this journey. Can you sign it for the
we'll sign it back. And what I want to see their best skill.
You want to see the best skill?
I want a video of their best skill.
We're gonna switch it up. Jack is gonna do the giveaway right now, so please grab one of the cameras and let's do this.
That'd be sick though.
What do you want people to do for this jersey?
I think they should do an akka.
Okay.
And,
so
and then tag us all.
Tag us all.
Yeah.
StreetPanna, StreetKings.eu, Edward van Gils official, and do an akka. And make a chance to win this amazing shirt signed by Jack.
And signed by you.
And signed by
That's the real quality that you want. Because I've got my signed Ed shirt on the back of my door. Alright?
Jack, again, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.